Today we're checking out the new Galaxy A56 5G by Samsung. It's got a 6.7 inch Super AMOLED display at 1080 by 2340 resolution, up to 120 Hz refresh rate, 1900 nits peak brightness, and it's using Gorilla Glass Victus Plus. It's got a 5000 milliamp hour battery, up to 45 watt fast charging as well. It comes in 4 different colors. The one shown here is called Olive. It comes with an Exynos 1580 processor, 8 gigabytes of RAM with 128 or 256 gigabytes of storage. Okay, I really like the color on here. I can sort of see why they call it Olive. It's a little more neutral color compared to some of the other greens that I've seen. I actually like it where the power and volume buttons are, how it's kind of a brushed finish, where the rest of the edges are shinier, and you can see how far the camera bump sticks out. It's almost like they're going back how they used to do the camera on the older Galaxy tablets. You can see the SIM card slot there on the bottom. Unfortunately, this one doesn't take a micro SD card. Here's a quick size comparison compared to the A55 and A35, and then obviously bigger than the Pixel 8a. Definitely feels like really nice build quality. Weighs about 198 grams. It's IP67, dust and water resistant. It takes a nano SIM card. Also works with eSIM as well. It comes with Android 15. Nice thing is you get up to 6 years of software updates, which is really good for more affordable phones like this. You can see it's got the new One UI 7 welcome screen. You can see just a hair larger on the bezel down here at the bottom. Just keep in mind it does rock quite a bit on a flat surface because of the camera bump. When setting up, you've got face unlock, fingerprint, pattern, PIN, or password. Of course, you've got light or dark mode. It's currently using about 21 gigabytes of the 128 available. I feel like that's pretty typical for most Android phones that I've been testing. You also have motion smoothness, where you can switch it between 60 Hz on standard or adaptive, which goes up to 120 Hz refresh rate. If you swipe down anywhere on the screen, it's going to bring up your notifications. You can bring up your notifications swiping down from the left-hand side, shortcuts over on the right. But keep in mind, you can go into the settings and make it like the previous One UI 6 if you like that version better. You can also rearrange things if you like, add or subtract. Just a lot of ways you can customize in One UI 7 now. As far as the default apps, pretty typical from Samsung. You've got a handful from Samsung, of course Google, some from Microsoft. You've also got a few extras like Netflix, Facebook, but not too bad as far as a lot of extra apps pre-installed. You also still have the Edge panel over here on the side. You'll also notice it has AI Select on there. That's got stuff like Object Eraser, custom filters, auto trim, and so on. You also still have the option of Google Discover Newsfeed or Samsung O left of the home screen. You can also circle or tap anywhere to search for things on your screen by holding down the home button. Again, very similar software to the more expensive 25 Ultra and S25 Plus, which I think is a nice improvement over the One UI 6. The other thing that's kind of nice on the new One UI 7 is that you can make the folders larger on the home screen, so you don't have to open the folder and then open the app. I think the screen quality actually looks pretty good on here. It has good contrast, blacks are nice and dark, like you would expect on most Samsung phones. I think most people will like the screen quality on here. Performance-wise, not really as big of an improvement for single and multi-core scores that you would expect from the Galaxy A55, but it's a pretty big improvement for GPU performance, as you can see here by the Geekbench scores. I maxed out the settings for PUBG Mobile, and it played fine for the most part, until you see the water is almost missing or has glitches, so I had to back down the settings some. Overall though, it did a pretty good job at gaming, and didn't seem to overheat or anything like that while playing PUBG Mobile and Asphalt Legends Unite. I also ran my typical battery drain test at 100% screen brightness. It actually lasted quite a bit longer than the Galaxy A55 at almost 19 hours. Now obviously there's a lot of variables when it comes to battery life, but it should last a couple days with normal use, especially once you turn the screen brightness down. The speakers on here, definitely not going to be the loudest out there. They probably are loud enough for most people. The good thing is you can always just use headphones, but here's a quick sample just to give you an idea of what it sounds like.
Hurts to
It's got a triple camera setup on the back with a 50 megapixel wide angle lens, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and then a 5 megapixel macro lens. It's got a 12 megapixel wide angle lens on the front. The first thing you have here in the camera app is called Fun. Not sure if I would use that mode, but probably nice to have for some people. You also have portrait, photo, video. Under more, you've got Pro Video, Night, Food, Panorama, Micro, Slow Motion, Hyperlapse. You've also got Dual Record and Single Take. You can shoot up to 4K resolution, 30 frames per second for video recording. Seems to have pretty fast shutter speed on here, but I'll give you a few quick samples to give you an idea of what to expect from the Galaxy A56. I think photo and video quality on here are pretty good overall. Sort of what you would expect from Samsung's mid-range phones. Not sure if it feels any better than the Galaxy A55. I may have to do some comparisons with some of the other mid-range phones that I have. But if you're coming from an older Samsung phone, it might be a good time to upgrade. Plus, I've got a lot more stuff that I'm working on, so keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.